the agenda up and share it on the screen briefly. So my intention today is to really have 2 minutes each of checking in and just share the atmosphere that you are arriving here with. Then we have 10 minutes of meditation to explore the fourth person in reference to what Toto Sharma wrote in his latest article, and see what does it mean for us. Can we access this fourth person within ourselves? From that space, we will try to do a 3D mapping. And this is very much to practice deep listening and find different questions that I will invite you to reflect upon. So if you have a journal or a paper and pen to write down your reflection, that will be only one sentence. My invitation would be to create the 4D mapping on your paper where you have east, south, west, and north. And each question that you will answer, you will see if you can put your sentence according to where you feel it's best landing, whether it's the south, the north, the east, or the west. I want you to notice the connection that you have with your paper, and I will guide us through this exercise. From this space, we will have a collection of words from each one of you in reference to the process that we went through on the 4D mapping. From that, we will move into the, from the 3D mapping and then onto the 4D mapping with gesture. We will embody the words that we have chosen from our 3D mapping. And from that space, we will write our own stories. It will give us the possibility to reflect and to notice what is it that we're missing. But I'm going to stop talking here and stop sharing and see what how the movement forward take place. So I'm inviting us to be aware of time. We are already 14 minutes past. If we take 2 minutes each and share the atmosphere that we are arriving here with. So I'm arriving with a kind of a heavy heart today, and with an intention to lead to the best of my capacity, and also the sensation of really going into the unknown with this meeting. So that's me. I will pass it on to Livio. And then Livio, you can pass it on to somebody else.
Thank you, Georgina. I arrive with gratitude, having watched the interview that you took. And I'm really grateful for the possibility to watch it. I didn't have time to watch it before. I really appreciated watching the story that Heiko has shared. And I would like to ask you as a check-in, because I expected a different program today, I would like to ask you to really guide us through everything we have to do, because I didn't prepare for what you have prepared. And I am passing on to Abi, whom we have seen last week.
Thank you, Livio. I am arriving with a lot of extreme heat here in India, but I'm sweating even sitting in AC. But right now, just close the AC. I'm arriving with a lot of curiosity and willingness to explore what is emerging and to participate with what's coming up in the here and now. And I would pass on to Victoria. Thank you. I said
So-
Victoria. So I want to.
You press from who?
Victoria.
Okay. Thank you, Abe. So today I'm not in my place, so it was surprising the agenda, and I'm not so quiet. So I think that is I'm just arriving to myself to realize that I am in the unknown places. Totally surprised to have this, surprised what if I'm stay here or move, or I don't know. So that's it. You find me at this moment, and I am really in this, I don't know, in this, and let's see what has happened, what will emerge. I'm trying to be almost here and now, as Abe have said, and see what is it, what is unfolds. So let's see. So pass to Peace.
Thank you, Carmen. Perfect timing. I just, as you see, I'm in the car. So I'm arriving in my car on a parking lot in between two date appointments that I have. So I arrive with a little it's a little sadness maybe, because like now that I heard your agenda, I just see like, oh gosh, I would like to participate full force, but I can't because I'm just like in between two appointments, and so I'll be here for the next like 25 minutes, maybe 30, and then I'll have to jump out. But I try to be here as full and aware as I can, and participate in the best way that I'm able to. Thank you. Who else is here? Robert.
Yeah, I would say I arrived with curiosity and a wondering of sort of how we, move through the summer together. And hopefully today will illuminate some of that. I'll pass it to Lisa.
Hi, I didn't plan on being here. I actually, I'm at a place right now where there's so much coming through me. And it's very clear for me where I need to be leading all of these knowings that are actually from a place of making lots of connections, but also knowing that I need to be inviting many more people into this container that I'm building. And so that sounds really esoteric, but I'm here because I'm committed to the process. And I also feel right now that there are other places in my life that I need to be focusing. So I'm here with 2 feet in different places, to be very honest.
Okay, thank you. As I'm aware that people are leaving and coming and being in 2 places at once, it's all good. We take what the field is offering us, and we accept and we surrender to it. So let's explore this transition into the meditation. And the transition is from the introspective to the outer spective. So basically from the inner to the outer, to the in-between, to the above, into the fourth. So if that is okay, we come into sitting as you feel more at ease for yourself, coming into an embodiment of your sense of gravity as you're sitting on your chair, allowing your breath to guide you into that space where your feet are connected to the ground, where you have a sense that you are belonging to the earth, and that you're being received in this moment by this greater field of the universe. I'm inviting you to sense the breath at the back of the center of your collarbone as the breath comes through the nostril and then travels through the throat. Give a thought of a sensation of a space right at the back of the collarbone, the center. Feel your lungs filling up with oxygen. And then let it release into the space. As you expand on your chest, you drop your shoulder away. You sense that there is a space between your shoulder and your ears. You sense that there is a space between your neck and your skull. It's an inner space where your spine sits naturally in its verticality as you're grounding into the bone structure of your pelvis. From this inner space, I'm inviting you to start to notice what does it feel like to be in your skin, to feel the sensations of your fingertips touching the surface side of your clothing or of your desk or any outer surface. And I want you to explore what does it feel to touch this surface. Notice how much can you expand from this sense of your skin. How much can you expand into the space where you are sitting? The skin is our greatest organ of relationship. Through it, we feel, we sense, we touch. And we go back into a deeper space. So from this organ of relationship, we move into the third dimension of our space. I'm inviting you to feel a space behind you, more or less a arm's length behind you. And you sense a arm's length just below you, from your feet, deeper down into the ground. You breathe into that space. Surrender to it. Feel that it is okay. From this space, beyond us, below us, we go above. We go right a arm's length above our head. So we feel those three spaces. There is an awareness that comes from the deep sense of belonging into a greater spatial relationship. With the earth, with the sky, and from beyond, where we belong, the land of our ancestors, the land where we are rooted as self now, from the past into our inner presence. Continue to notice how at ease it is to be in this three-dimensional space. If you sense you're getting stuck, just find your breath. Don't try too hard. Let it be. We set the intention and we let the field manifest the best way it can for us, each one of us individually and together. So we gently now going to embody the fourth dimension, the fourth person. And the fourth person is very much the environment that we have walked in. So I'm inviting you to stay with this presence of the three dimension where you're connected to the earth, the sky, beyond, within. And very gently, I'm inviting you to open your eyes. Come back to the circle. If your camera is off, I would invite you to switch your camera on. And we're going to begin journaling, if that is possible for you. So I noticed Joaquin has joined us. If you had just arrived, we're just been leading a meditation, and we're going to just do a little bit of journaling in reference to some question that I'm going to bring into the field. We're going to do this process of creating our own 3D mapping, and we will see how the movement follows. So my first question for you to answer would be, this process is probably going to take about 10 minutes again to 15 minutes. How do you know you're deep listening? And just write 1 or 2 sentences that reflect how your own knowing. What is alive in you now? So we try to attend to the best to this intention of being in this fourth person space. How do we know we belong? Is it an obligation, a desire, or a necessity for you to belong? Notice those 3, an obligation, a desire or a necessity? In your life, how do you collaborate? What does it feel like? How do you create relationship? What can you do to cultivate a sense of unity? How do you like to be seen? Is there something missing in the way you like to be seen? Is there a deeper desire? How do you create peace within yourself? And how do you think it influences others? Okay, just notice if there are any of the questions that you feel you want to have a minute to pause again. So just notice if you have left any of the sentences unfinished. But the next step I'm suggesting will be for us, from each of the questions that we have answered, to bring one word that represents an emotion, a feeling, and we put it into the chat. Through this, we will take all of those words, we will see the connection among those words, and we will create a 4D mapping according to the words that are being put together. So we can start with the chat, and then so just if you put so really put few words that have come up in the many of the questions that you might have answered.
So we don't take the questions one by one. We just pick up a couple of words.
You pick up the question one by one, but put them all together into one chat, if you can, if I kind of made myself clearly. So it's like
Okay, so I write all my questions, all my words, one after each
Yeah.
other, and post them all together.
Yeah.
Is this what you want?
Yes, please. Thank you, Livio.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is beautiful. Now I'm going to need somebody's help as well, all of you. And we just look at the whole of the chat and see what are the words that we are going to be representing. So somebody's going to represent trust, that it's a beautiful word. And we're going to create our own story through the 4D mapping, the presence in theater. So we will, as an example, somebody will represent the meaning of trust. And he will really go into this sense of, where in my body do I sense trust? And a gesture will come out of that. That gesture will be witnessed by us all. And we will write down a sentence that we capture from that gesture. So we we will go in a circle and see all of the representation. So I see that there is belonging, that it's beautiful. So somebody else will represent belonging. There is humility. Can anyone would like to bring in any of the words that see that you kind of flirt with? So when I say flirt, is something that attracts your attention, something that brings you joy. There's also powerful. Uncertainty, that's a nice one. Safety. We might find that we have to represent more than one word. Curiosity. Spontaneity. I like that. Because then what we also need to look, I think we have plenty. So can anyone would like to kind of bring in any word? I got trust, belonging, safety, powerful, humility, uncertainty, curiosity, and spontaneity.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes, I'm not granting you that I will accept it, but
No,
please
just
do.
a suggestion.
Yes, thank you.
Given that there are so many words here, I do not know how exactly they are going to be selected. So what I would like to suggest is maybe for each one of us to pick one word, and it's up to you to decide.
That's a great suggestion, Livio. So let's go for it. And the word that you pick is not going to be the one that somebody else already has chosen, but it will be the word that you're going to represent, that I'm going to ask you to embody. Is that okay? Does that sound okay for each one of you? Cool. Thank you, Piers. Thank you. Yes, Lisa?
Could, as we decide these, someone put them in the chat so we can focus on them together?
Yeah,
As
that's
they're
good.
chosen.
Or
Thank
what
you.
we can also do is each one of us who picks a word, then write that word in the space of his name. So you change your name. So Joaquin is becoming stillness. Beautiful. Thank you. So you can start to embody the stillness, and we will. Who else is going to pick up a word? Lisa, you're muted.
How many representatives are you choosing? Have you decided how many?
I want to represent because I want to stay in the field with it all. I think each one of you can choose to represent. And what we will, the exercise will be that we represent a gesture. We write a sentence of what we pick. Each one of us will write a sentence of what we pick up from the stillness. For example, Joaquin is representing stillness now. I'm going to just look. What does it feel to me to see Joaquin in stillness? I'm looking at stillness. What is the meaning of stillness for me in this moment? And I'm just going to capture that essence. And then I write my own sentence. Each one of our sentences will be put together, and that will become a story. Through this, we will have created our own story. And then possible, we will see what further movement is required through this story, maybe today or possibly in another meeting. So Robert becomes synergy. That's great. Livio become acceptance.
I can take it belonging.
Belonging, beautiful, thank you. Lisa, it's up to you if you want to pick up a word, curiosity, lovely. Or if you like to start to write the story. Piers. Oh, I need to go. Blessing. Bye, Piers. So that is great. We have 5 words. Lisa, how do you feel? What would you like to do?
I was thinking of adding desire,
Yeah.
but I'm also interested in just observing. So what would work best right now?
You can be desire, and then because we are going to be observing each one of us. So if again I ask Joaquin to really go into the stillness and possibly make a gesture that for us would represent the stillness, if he can. If you think of a gesture that will represent that stillness. And we all create a sentence of what we feel we see. Right, thank you. Then we had synergy. Robert, could you give us a gesture that represents synergy for you? And we again see what it feels for us. Lisa, I don't know if you, the idea is that as each one of us represent, each one of us write down a sentence, because that then we put it all together and that will become our story. So from what you notice from the stillness, from the synergy, just one sentence. Yes, Victoria?
We have to share this, write the sentence in the chat, or would you
No,
like-
keep it for now because we
Okay.
will see what we do later. So, do
belonging?
you want? Yes, thank you. If you, Victoria, represent belonging with a gesture. It's beautiful, thank you. Livia, if you are okay, you can represent a gesture for acceptance. Or if you're not ready, maybe Abby can go with curiosity.
Can go. I was still writing the sentence.
Sorry, Liv, you cannot see your hands. Thank you.
Thank you. Curiosity. Desire. Thank you, curiosity. Thank you, Abby.
They generally say these are rules or policies imposed from outside. So, right, this is sort of the deductive approach you're saying. And I challenge the students.
Thank you. Now, if we were to choose a direction, where would we move to? East, south, west, or north? Let's not think too much about where we would go. Let's just, I'm going north or I'm going south, without too much thought of it. And then we can put our direction into our name again. So let's see who chose to go east. See who chose to go west. North. Thank you. We have north with east for Livia. Thank you. We have another note. We have east again. So we have south. We need south and west. South belonging east. Okay, I shall be west. That's fine. Okay, so I would like now that each one of us, we're going to start with east, which is the feeling and where is the energy needing to go, and what comes up from the seed that was planted very long ago. So the East will start to read what they've wrote in reference to the 5 dynamic that we had, the 6 dynamic of that we had. So if you, Robert or Livia, can start to just read what you wrote. What are your sentences? Does that make sense?
For each of the other words that have been expressed through gestures?
Yes.
Okay, I can start. For stillness, I wrote embracing what comes.
That's beautiful. Can I just ask one question, please? Not one question. Can I make a suggestion? Is that instead of writing from stillness, in saying from stillness, just write the little message that you picked up from the movement.
So I don't name the word, I just tell the sentences.
Yeah,
Each of
brilliant.
them.
Yeah.
Can I also please request, just for the record, for other people watching, could Robert and Joachim rename to include what they are representing and the direction?
So Robert was representing synergy and Joachim was representing stillness. And I put that I am West.
Thank you.
Is it okay if I now read the sentences?
Please, thank you, Livio. Yes, because we're also coming up to time.
Embracing what comes, coming together in prayer, coming together in movement, thanking God for what is, exploring closely, willing to offer something inspirational.
Encompassing the whole space, movement towards connecting the points of energy until a wave forms, prayerful, looking inward and finding self, exploring the surface, noticing gratitude, welcoming into the space that is nurturing.
South, please.
Victoria still is east. I don't know.
Oh, yes, sorry, Victoria. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Embrace all, interlaced, part of all, waiting with gratitude, exploration, and looking with detail, offering.
By chance.
South, can you go now? Because from the east we go south.
Okay, and I used the names like characters. So, okay. Synergy is hidden stillness in the form of deep wisdom. It weaves us into belonging and needs complexity to find its form. Each of us has many voices. Can we listen? Acceptance says bow down, but bring the third eye up and out. Curiosity takes the form of male beauty, says touch it all. Desire is off-center, looks in all directions, reaches out to the world. Weave big ideas to the personal level, stories going south. I don't want to. No, I must enter grief for loss.
Thank you. In stillness, there is an embrace. In synergy, I bow to it. There is a world in movement to which I belong. There is a stiffness in the acceptance as I am trying so hard to pray. In my curiosity, I'm wishing to be touching the world and to be touched. In my desire, I am turning away from it. Note.
So just sentences.
See how it feels best for you, because since Lisa has kind of brought in the wording, it seems that he had gelled. And another suggestion is, if we like, we can, each one of us, write as sentences as a poem, starting from the acceptance to the synergy to the belonging to the desire to the West. And if we can all write it in the chat, that would be great. So we have it, and this chat then can be posted into Sutra as the storytelling that we have come up with today. So I'm sorry, I kind of broke out the movement with this
I just say
instruction.
those sentences. For me, it's all too much. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm here in love. You're so lazy and I get sad. So open, so wide, and so connected. I am in line and I will follow you. A happy dance with life. I don't like you, go away.
Can I ask you to do it once more? Because at the beginning, I really couldn't catch your voice. You had a couple of sentences before I'm lazy or something, and I couldn't capture before that.
Okay, the first is I am here in love.
Okay, beautiful. I didn't hear that before. Thank you.
The second was you are so lazy and I get sad. Next is so open and wide, so connected. The next one, I am in line, I follow you. The next is a happy dance with life. The last one is I don't like you, go away.
Thank you. And curiosity, would you like to go?
Stillness encompassing the cosmos, synergy, union with trust and surrender, belonging, a journey of togetherness, acceptance with humility and compassion, desire, aspiration and longing.
Thank you. Okay. Can we just see if we pause a moment in all of this, just a minute or two? And in this time, if we like or not, it's not necessary, but it would be nice if we write our a story and then in the chat, and then we can resume in 2 minutes or so.
I will return in 2 minutes and will type my sentences a bit later.
Okay.
not sure if it's well written.
I'm sure it will be beautiful, Victoria.
Thank you.
We're just exploring. There is no right or wrong. Now, if we just take another minute and we just read from each of us, and we pick up one word that we feel we want to take away for today, for us. So I can start. So I'm taking away the playfulness, the intertwinedness that is between us all. I'm taking away the love. I'm taking away the cosmos and the trust that is within. And I embrace it all. So thank you for journeying today with me. So we can allow ourselves to just find a few words that will bring our session today to a closing.
I'm grateful for your gifts, Georgina, and your courage and your creativity. This is, I've never written a story like this way. And I don't know if it's a story or a command or an invitation. It's somewhere in between. And one more thing, it draws on a practice of facing the four directions. And when you first said, oh, we're going to put it on a map, I thought of the Presencing Institute form of mapping, and I thought, oh, I don't remember what each one means, and I didn't have to. So I appreciate your leadership in this way.
Well, if I go back to the map, the east is the feeling and is where is the energy going. The south is embracing the truth. And this is to be revisited, because what I like us to do is to look, if I don't know, Robert, if we can copy the chat or have a transcript of this chat, that would be great. And it is in reference to then to really go and look what, for example, South wrote. South represent the truth, but what is the hard truth that need to be spoken? And what is the risk of change that we need to take? And what is the risk if we stay present and put with what is? So it's asked us to explore further, which is what I would like to bring this movement forward into a future meeting. Because then if we go into what's happening in the West, is about assumption. What kind of assumption underlying? And what is the teaching of those assumptions? Are those assumptions made out of a pattern of habits in my behavior? Or are those assumptions part of the truth that is emerging in reference to the future? And the North is about the presence of our purpose, and it's what is it that it's ending in this group and what is trying to emerge. So we have many qualities that are about emerging, but also many others that are ending. And it's for us to choose in the next movement forward, which probably might take us into September. But through this, I hope that we're going to find a way of inviting others and trust that we can really begin to explore to bring something that is of value. And so as I say, what I'm taking away today is the playfulness of exploration, and there is an intertwining embrace among us all, because we've been together now for so long. And also there is the love, and there is the encompassing of the cosmos. We are being held by the Presencing Institute, which is an institution that has thousands and thousands of participants. So imagine the field, how fantastic it is. And in this little space, I am touched by your presence. And this is what gives me faith to move forward into September, or the movement forward for this group. So thank you.
Thank you too, Georgina and all others. I think that was beautiful what we create today, and that's the openness that I think all of us are here wide open and for ourselves for ourselves, and that was beautiful. I talk by myself, but I can feel that from all of us. So that was beautiful. Thank you for this connection. I think we work in the field literally today.
Mhm.
That's what's important. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what are you taking away from this today that you're going to use for your time, Victoria? And yes, then to Lisa. You can put it in the chat.
Okay.
Think about it and just write it in the chat. And Lisa, you were about to say something. You might need to go.
I want to release us and invite us to change our names and leave the roles behind. So we close that circle and become back to our lives. I'm looking at Robert right now, and I want to do a little check-in with him as we're transitioning back to ourselves.
Thank you, Lisa, for that attention that was missing from me. Thank you. And we can all check out, see how. So feel inclined to speak, just unmute yourself. I'm aware Joachim and Robert are unmuted, and just go for it.
Yeah, today sometimes I was a little bit lost and it doesn't feel so comfortable, but I think it has to sink a little bit more. And I wrote something down, and yeah, I think it was nice and interesting and a lot of things, but there was too much for my mind today. Yeah, what sometimes is good as well. So thank you.
And what are you taking away for you today, Joachim, from this that would have an impact for your week ahead?
Yeah, the stillness and love, and also this happy dance with life, I liked a lot.
I think I can follow up if it's okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Georgina. I didn't know what to expect. I had full trust and respect for you for taking the initiative to do this day, given especially that we came like out of nowhere, not knowing what will happen. So all my respect for this. And I would like to request you, if possible, to create either on Miro or on paper, as you did in the past, to put everything together. As you did with different, you did 3 or 4D mapping in the past a couple of months ago. I think it would be useful to have the same thing now created. That time you used some cards, I remember, because I read the document. So if you could create something similar to put the words together, the sentences together, to create a whole image where everything would be seen by all of us so that you can reflect on it later on. What I'm taking away are the words that I picked up from the journaling, and I will read them now. Silence, higher connection, subtle feeling, curiosity, respect, warmth, desire, stepping up, clarity, acceptance, and love. Thank you, everybody. Much love.
I'd like to push back a bit. With all respect, to say, I would like some space for this just to be and breathe what we experienced and not go to doing just yet. I feel like this is a very deep space that has carved me out and my relationship with where this team has been in my experience. And I'm hesitant to ask Georgina or anyone right now to put it in a box. I'm all about finding containers right now, but I want some space. I'm requesting some space for this to just be in the field and allow itself to be revealing with a little more time.
That's exactly what I had in mind, Lisa. And I thought that an image where everything will be represented would help this. It's not about any box. It's just to have a full image so that you can reflect on it.
I love to hear from, thank you both, Livio and Lisa. I love to hear from Robert, please, if that's okay with you, Robert.
No, I'm just I wrote in the chat sort of an ending thought, so I'm good.
Would you voice it, please, Robert? Would you be willing to share it so people watching can?
Thanks for the work to build connection today. I appreciate that.
Good, let's have 2 minutes silence and then we can close this meeting. It's good. Well, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Robert, for the link and for the Zoom and for accepting my out of the blue agenda. And yeah, it's I think it's important that we take movement forward and that we start to act from the field and see where we all come from with it and what we take away from it. Because ultimately what we take away from it is what resources us. Or that's my intention, at least. And I guess for the people who will come to attend our meeting, this would be of extreme importance, what they take away. And I guess the ability to be curious, the ability to trust, to go into the unknown, to be together, and to feel resilience among each other, to feel the resilience of each other together. Because that's ultimately what we want to bring into organization.